What if the only reason why you don't have that position, don't have that person, and aren't exactly where you want to be is because you quit far too soon? If you're serious about your dreams and turning them into a reality, patience must be a pillar in whatever foundation you build. So whether it's a plan, a dream, a hustle, an idea, whatever, when you're at the early stages, just getting rolling, when you're building, planning, developing, working on a process, going through the day-to-day, we're not just love, we're not just focus, we're not just faith, but patience, your outcomes are going to be different. True greatness often takes time. It's one thing to have a sense of urgency, but when you try to force things and rush them so that you don't have the quality and so that it doesn't have the time to develop like it needs to, respecting that process, that's when things start to go left. And so the more you try to force the process and rush it, the more unreliable your foundation becomes. When it comes to taking risks, taking a chance, you often got to go before you're ready, but that doesn't mean you have to rush things. Yes, we value urgency, but we do so with perspective. As important as it is to move with urgency and discipline, it's just as important to be patient, to understand that not everything is going to happen on the first day. And if your mind isn't willing to embrace the beautiful gift of patience, you're going to lose every time, because you're going to rush things, you're going to quit too soon, and you won't respect the process. This is the infinite evolution. Yes, we value urgency, but with the perspective of knowing that if we already put in the work that we need to, if we already dedicated ourselves to the process, the best thing we can do is sit back and allow the work to speak for itself. What's the point of putting in the work if you don't have any faith? Mindset is everything. Choosing patience is one of the greatest gifts that you can give yourself and others. Because once you combine that patience with perspective and the urgency it takes to get the job done, that's when brilliance starts to happen. That's when amazing starts to occur. And this is the infinite evolution. To be able to balance urgency, focus, discipline, and perspective all along with patience, that's when the real beauty starts to begin. None of us know how much time we have left, and so the greatest gift any of us could ever receive is the gift of the present, the beautiful gift of right now that you have. But what you choose to do with it, and especially how you choose to allow your mind to interpret it, will determine everything about the way your trajectory goes. So if we don't control how much time we have left, or our loved ones either, that means it's that much more important to have the proper perspective on how to interpret it. Many people have a love-hate relationship with time. If you put in the work, if you've done everything you need to, the least you could do for yourself now is sit back and respect the process. This is why having faith is so important, because if you know you've done what you need to, you can relax knowing that your job is done. All you need to do is let time work its magic, and everything else is going to be fine. But if you haven't put in the work, if you haven't done what you need to, that's when you get to rushing. Growing up as a kid and a teenager, when I first started to learn to cook, I only had one goal: get the food made so that I could eat it. Which isn't to say that quality didn't matter, it simply wasn't the most important. I didn't really want to be cooking, I just wanted to get the food, and so as long as I got from point A to B, I was happy. But the quality of the food I was eating certainly wasn't what it could have been. But what if I take that same strategy with my life? If your food is a little too crispy, or your eggs are a little bit too runny, maybe you need to slow down a bit. How many times do we rush the process of things in our life? If quality truly matters and we're really chasing greatness, how can we rush the process and then expect the best results? Back then, the caliber of my food was good enough. Well, many people are taking that same approach I had as a kid with their finances, with their physical health, with their mental health, with their business, everything. You need to embrace patience. Sometimes you don't have the time, and sometimes you do gotta rush. But if you have it, an extra 5 minutes of discipline or focus could mean the world, because built and compounded, it's gonna add up to something better. The food would be good enough, but it would never be quite as good as my mom or my sister's cooking. Why? Because they understood, as badly as I want to get the food now, I want it to also taste good. What's the point of going through the whole process, buying the food, cooking the food, washing dishes, preparing, getting everything set up, if it's not even going to taste good? You do all of this work, all this preparation, with an extra 5 or 10 minutes might have made it that much better. How often does that same thing happen with life? You know, when you went to the gym, you could have put in a little bit more work. You know that with your body and your health, you're not being patient enough. You're looking for shortcuts, you're embracing the quick fix, and as a result, you're still not getting what you want. You still don't have the quality and caliber of health that you need. This is me talking to myself. Also think about finances and wealth. So many people want to quickly get rich while skipping the steps it takes to build. What if it takes time, energy, and process in order to develop the habits of a winner, of a saver? It takes time and repetition and opportunities for you to practice being financially sound. If you've never done it before, why would you want to rush the process? And if we flip the dynamic and we could just put you right at the top, you probably wouldn't be ready. So trust the process, embrace patience, and watch just how great you could become. This is the infinite evolution. By the way, back when I did cook only on high heat, if you would have asked me what I prefer, I would have told you quality food. I would have told you I wanted the best. But if I'm not willing to work and wait for it, do I really want it that bad? And if you think I'm just talking about me cooking food as a teenager, think a little deeper. What's something that you want real bad, but you haven't been patient for? What's something that you've been working for, dedicated to, praying for, taking the steps necessary in order to achieve, but you simply haven't given yourself the freedom in order to sit back and let it happen? You must embrace patience, because time isn't going to speed up or slow down for any of us. And if you've done the work, now all that's left is to reap the benefits, or at least respect the process that you put in. Oftentimes, accepting the reality that you don't control everything is the best thing you can do. All the times you put in the work, every moment you were dedicated, now is the time to respect the efforts that you put forth. Now is the time to sit back and let it grow without suffocating. And these opportunities are constantly there. When it comes to driving, do you really need to go 40 miles per hour over the speed limit? Most of the time when we're rushing to a place, if we would have just prepared a little bit more, we wouldn't have to. If you would have left out 5 or 10 minutes earlier, you wouldn't have to hit the gas. If you would have gotten up when your alarm told you to, as opposed to standing under the warm covers and scrolling through your phone, maybe you wouldn't need to rush. We often put ourselves in these situations where we make life so much harder for ourselves. And when you think about it, the benefit is often minimal. When you're flying down a highway and all you can think about is your selfish self going way faster than you should, putting your life and everybody else's in danger, is it really worth it? Was it really necessary? Couldn't you have done something to prepare just a little bit more so that you wasn't here? This is patience. Patience isn't laying in your bed scrolling through your phone. Patience isn't procrastination. It isn't excuse making. It's giving yourself the time to do what needs to be done at a high level because you value quality and you're so worth it. Do you really need a speeding ticket or to put everybody else's life in danger because you refuse to wake up 5 minutes earlier, leave out 10 minutes earlier, not scroll through your phone when you didn't have time for it? With all the speeding in the world, you might only get 5 or 10 minutes ahead, and then what? How often do you see people speeding on a highway only to end up at the same place as everybody else, or even worse, pulled over with a ticket or causing an accident, doing irreparable harm that can never be brought back, all because you couldn't embrace patience? And that patience is often extended to each other, understanding that none of us are perfect and all of us could use a little more grace. This is the infinite evolution, because sure enough, it won't be long until we need a little bit of our own grace, understanding, and patience. So embrace the process now so that you can have the patience later. This is the infinite evolution. We never truly know what people are going through on the inside. We often don't even understand ourselves. So when it comes to others, being patient is that much more important. This is the infinite evolution. So be patient, not just with you, but with the people around you, with your community, with your loved ones, with the stranger who you don't even know, because they probably need it, as you just might save a life. We get the most out of ourselves and others when we understand patience. We get the most out of ourselves and others when we embrace the beautiful gift of the present. Not being lazy, not making excuses, not procrastinating, but intentionally focused on the person and the process in a way that's healthy for both. This is the infinite evolution. Maybe by focusing on the day-to-day and the beautiful gift that is a present, maybe we give ourselves that much better of a chance of succeeding at whatever it is we set out to. One of the greatest keys to wisdom is understanding that you can't always control the outcome, but if you respect the game, embrace the process, and free yourself from the chains of expectations that you don't even control, maybe we don't need to. That's where true greatness begins, and this is the infinite evolution. So be patient.